Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Theresa and thank you so much for joining me today. I will be editing this image really quickly just to show you how I would edit this beach image. A storm was rolling in and we didn't have very much time to move our objects. That's why you see my camera bag and my little changing station and people and everything like that. So, you know, shooting on the beach, you have people, and this was such a huge gown. And I do have that little piece in my camera that kind of shows up every now and again, but I just wanted to go ahead and show you how I would edit this image. Okay, so I do like to use the patch tool. It does a fantastic job with removing, really quickly, and sometimes I'll go in and retouch little places that need to be done, but I'm going to go ahead and remove some of these pieces. So every now and then I do like to go into the actual sand and clean it up just a tad bit, but I like to trace close to the object just so that I know for a fact I'm getting that and not picking up any other colors. And I can go ahead and best match it to whatever is next to it. So I'm trying my best to kind of line up any shadows or anything like that, just because it will pick that color up and kind of move it along. And we just want the beach to look as neat as possible, especially since there was so much there. So this is the before and after. So now we're gonna zoom in. It was getting really dark, so I had to really jump my ISO, which I don't like doing too much, but we had to get this special shot from Mom. And I wanted to make sure that we got it. I wanted to make sure it was still perfect. Everybody looked like they were having fun. But of course, you have people fishing in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and, continue to get rid of everybody in the background. And then we'll kind of work on the people in the foreground. So right now I'm using my clone stamp tool. And this one is another fantastic tool to kind of go ahead and get rid of things quickly. And every now and again, I'll go back and patch in so that it looks normal and it doesn't just look copied. Because as you continue to clone the same pieces over and over, it just looks unnatural and extremely repetitive. And here again, I'm going to use the clone stamp tool to get rid of this massive wagon and the man standing next to it. And this one is going to take just a little bit more time because there was an actual shadow casted by the wagon. So I'm gonna be a little more precise than I was with the other guy with the fishing poles. So I like to sample from different places just so that, like I said before, so that it doesn't look super copy and pasted or super cloned, since this is a clone stamp. I do still want it to look natural, well, as natural as it's going to look, without it looking so kind of copied again, duplicated. So I keep sampling from the horizon just because that's a straight line, that's an even line. So I know for a fact as I go up and bring it down, everything will kind of match because I started at an even point and can continue from there. So now I'm going to go ahead and remove that little piece out of the sky. I don't know what that is on my camera sensor, but it's got to be like a piece of lint. It shows up in every picture, so I just remove it now. So here we are using the clone stamp tool again. And it was not like I could get him or the other lady out of the image. This gown was extremely heavy. And the wind was so strong because there was a storm coming in. So we definitely needed them to hold it to kind of keep Mom in the center. So he was definitely necessary to be in the image. So was the other young lady. So I just knew, like, I'm going to have to go ahead and get him out of the image, which is not a problem. So I'm not really worried about that. Here you can see an example of what I mean by the sand looks so copy and pasted, and this is why I kind of go back over it to try and get rid of the repeats. And then I use the patch tool just to kind of really merge it. So I'm going to drop my brush size down just a little bit more so that I can really get in and be a little more precise around the fabric, just so I can kind of only get rid of Dad's hand and continue to have the extra fabric, just so it kind of looks like, you know, of course he wasn't there, but it kind of just flows with the wind. Just going to do some really quick touch-ups to the sand so that it doesn't look so edited. So I adjust my brush just a little bit, just because I felt like that was a little too big. It was starting to pick up certain things that I did not want it to pick up. So you just adjust your brush how you need it and keep sampling, keep moving it around just so that the sand doesn't look exactly the same, because sand is not. But here we are, kind of doing the same thing we did with Dad's hands. We're getting her hands out so that the fabric is the only thing that's left. This is what it looked like in the beginning and after. So I'm going to go ahead and liquefy just a tad bit, kind of to bring some shape back to this gown, only because they were pulling it so tight and the wind was blowing so hard that it kind of just straightens it, so it looks weird, super straight, of course, without them standing there. So I'm going to go ahead and give it some body just a little bit on both sides. So I'm going to drag that down just a tad. You know, I don't want it to look absolutely unnatural. Of course, you can see the background is being dragged with the fabric, but I'm going to go ahead and make sure I fix that once I go ahead and get the skirt to look the exact way I want it. Oh, and by the way, this skirt is from Chicaboo. She does a fantastic job with maternity gowns and photographer items. I'll go ahead and link her shop down below. I borrowed this from my friend because I needed it in short notice and she wound up having it. So thank you so much, Nataleigh, for that. So yeah, I'm just trying to give it body, and granted, I know it may look over exaggerated right now, but slowly but surely I'll go ahead and fix it so that it doesn't look super unnatural. Again, I'm not really worried about the background because that's something I can always mask back on later, or continue with the reconstruct tool that's in here as well. So here you see me reconstructing so that I can kind of bring the sand back to its original level. So this is what it looked like. And again, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and mask it. So because I duplicated the layer, I can go ahead and mask the changes off of the new layer, the layer with the liquefy tool, so that my beach can look normal again, which is why I said don't worry about the background. So right now I'm doing the quick select tool, just so that I can get the skirt and then select the inverse so that I can go ahead and mask the beach back to the way it should be originally. And as you can see, the beach is coming back to level. Now that I'm getting it to look how I want it to look, I'm gonna go ahead and merge those two layers, grab my patch tool, get rid of just a little bit of what I brought back from the liquefied layer. And now I'm gonna go ahead and retouch the rest of this image, and I'm gonna show you the final image. But I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys how I get rid of people on the beach. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this small tutorial. Please go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel where there will be much more content coming soon. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.